Hey, Board Talks, episode 8. My head's cut off, you're probably wondering why. But I have a special guest for the intro. It's my dog. She wanted to help intro episode 8. So, yeah, I posted something on YouTube yesterday regarding if you guys could ask me some questions. And you guys were very good at that, so thank you so much. Yeah, so let's get into this and I'll answer your guys' questions. Hey guys, going? Episode 8 of Board Talks. So this episode's going to be almost like a little questions and answers episode. I wanted to do something different than your just typical board review. And I've been getting asked a bunch of questions on a bunch of different topics. I'm not sure if you guys have watched it or not, but I uploaded a video 2 days ago regarding just pretty much asking you guys to ask me any of your questions or queries that you have about surfing, surfboards, anything that you guys thought I might be able to help you with. So I'm super stoked with the feedback that you guys gave me. Here's all the questions. Thank you guys so much for the feedback. You guys are awesome. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first question I'll be discussing, shout out to Kieran Ryan, sorry if I mispronounced it, but your question says 2 things. 1, when you do your Evo review, could you do it on the Helium Evo, review it, and compare it to how the Helium Tech feels and surfs compared to the LFT and Timber Tech versions of the Evo? Yeah, Kieran, I'll keep you posted on that one. And the second point is, as far as the Rod Machado Moonbeam goes, have you ridden it as a thruster or a 2+1? If so, what fins do you suggest? Also, do you think the board needs a stiff control fin on a 1 to 4 on the future scale, a flex speed fin on the 6 to 10 on future scale, or in between a 5 on the future scale? Regarding the Moonbeam, yes, it's right there in my board rack. It's got a 2+1 setup in it at the moment. Cause I prefer it as a quad generally, just because the speed that you get out of it. But the 2+1 is fun for super grovelly waves. And yes, I have ridden it just as a normal thruster when I first got the board. And I think the quad, it goes the best as a quad, and then second favorite would be in a 2+1 setup. And the fins that I use, I just have the Almeric 2+1 fins. They seem to be my go-to fins for a thruster, 2+1, anything like that. I really like the template. Also, how easily does the board paddle and catch waves? Was going to get a size up from my usual leaderage amount to have a little more foam for smaller surf. Regarding going up some leaders, I would suggest you don't. I would suggest you just ride your normal leader boards, because that's what you're used to and that's what works for you. So yeah, just stick to your normal leaders no matter what board, unless obviously you're getting like a big like 8.6 like gun for Mavericks or something like that, then it's obviously going to change. But just for everyday boards, yeah, stick around the same leaders. That's what works for you. So yeah, thanks Kieran, that was a good question. Okay, so the next question that you guys asked me, shout out to Michael Pemberton. He left a comment saying, have you ever had the Gamma in LFT? If so, did it feel a lot more different to the Helium, as I'm thinking of getting one for an Indo trip? Thanks. Yeah, Michael, as you can see in episode 5 where I done my quiver, I have I have an LFT Gamma that features in that, and also episode 3 I think it was, or 4, where I done on the LFT Helium, on the Helium Gamma, sorry. Yeah, actually there is a difference between the feeling of the board, even if it's same size, just the constructions. I feel like the LFT is more stiff, which personally I prefer a stiff board. So yeah, I would tend to go for a LFT Gamma. But they both work in like their different conditions. So I done a talk with Chris Grow like a month ago when he was out here on the Gold Coast, pretty much about this topic, and I said that I would rather have a Helium Gamma in smaller waves But then once the waves got better, I would rather have the LFT gamma because it's got a tiny bit more weight to it. It's more stiff. So I just feel like it like, I don't know, it just performs better in like more powerful stuff. And if you're on a trip to Indo, that's super rad. I'm jealous. But yeah, I would definitely lean towards the LFT gamma. I hope that helps you out. So I got another question. Shout out to Brent Eno for this question. He goes, "Throffing to hear that you're doing a cymatic review next week. I would really be interested to know your fin setup, thruster / quad, and which template you are using for what conditions. Give us a bit of detail into what feedback you are getting from boards and fins and what you're trying to achieve with different fins. How forgiving is the board for foot placement? Would it suit a front or back footed surfer? Any quirks about the board or issues you've had? How does it compare in speed and rail turns to the SKX and Sci-Fi? What conditions would you use this in if you had a choice of the Cymatic, the SKX and the Sci-Fi? How is the glassing? The earlier Sci-Fis were not good on the double bat tail area with lots of sanding, blow throughs. Cheers, keep up the good honest reviews." Yeah, so thanks Brett. I can relate to you about the sand throughs on the Sci-Fi towers. I can understand that they'd be like a sander's nightmare when finishing the boards, but yeah, even my boards have a lot of sand throughs and stuff, but that's fine. I mean, yeah. So regarding my fin setup and placement, regarding my fin setups, as you guys know, if you've watched pretty much any of my videos, I always just pretty much am on the Almeric template, even if it's Futures or FCS. Yeah, I love that template. I've been riding that template for as long as I can. Like, my first ever fin that I got, like, other than like the old plastics that you used to get with the boards, was an Almeric template, and pretty much been riding them ever since. What conditions would you use this in if you had a choice of the Cymatic? Yes. So out of those three boards, the Cymatic is probably my least favorite. I mean, the SKX and the Sci-Fi are just amazing boards, and I love them. I can't fault them. And I just kind of get a bit like scared off. Not scared off at all. No, that's the wrong way to put it. But like, I don't know, the round nose, I guess. I know I like paddling, and I like to have a nose under my chest when I'm paddling. I feel like it's just, I don't know, I appreciate it. So how forgiving is the board and foot placement? I think I'm a relatively back foot surfer, Brett, so maybe I can chat to someone that thinks they're a front foot surfer and let you know in the Cymatic review. But yeah, the board went great. Like, it's a super fast board, it draws really tight arcs. Anyway, I'm not going to give you too much information because that's going to come in the review, but yeah, stay tuned. I hope I answered everything. So I have a question from Christian Skarbort. Sorry about the pronunciation, I'm sure that's wrong, but he asked me, what board would you prefer for all-round surf between the Sci-Fi and the Helium Gamma? Straight off the bat, I would have to tell you that I would, if I had to choose out of those two boards to have to surf every single day, I would go the Helium Gamma. It's just a lot more all-rounder. I just feel like the Sci-Fi, it kind of maxes out on the waves, and it gets a bit like chattery when the waves get over like 3 or 4 foot. And I feel I can grovel on my Helium Gamma with no worries, and I think that's super cool. And I've surfed it. I'll put in some clips about that. I've surfed it last week on Mother's Day. Shout out to all the mums out there. Yeah, last week on Mother's Day, I surfed it. It was like 6 foot. We were doing step-offs on the jet ski, and the board went really well. And then I surfed this morning, and it was like waist height, and the board still went really good. So I know it suits all conditions. So yeah, cool. Thanks, Christian, for that. Shake. Ready? Shake. Shake. Good dog.